We start with French politics, 3 days after the inconclusive parliamentary elections. Today, far-right MPs from the National Rally have been arriving at the National Assembly, many for the first time after the party increased its number of seats from 89 to 143. However, their goal of securing a majority in Parliament was dashed on Sunday by a broad left-wing coalition which won 193 seats. Today, though, Marine Le Pen insisted her party's victory had only been delayed.
We
will play the role that our voters gave us, even if a certain number of manoeuvres, notably manoeuvres like retreats from certain races that happened on a huge scale, we were deprived of an absolute majority. It's just been delayed. Because we cannot indefinitely skew national representation, like the name indicates, National Assembly needs to be a reflection of all the French. It is not the case today. It will be the case tomorrow.
Well, our reporter Clovis Casali is at Parliament today. He joins me live now. Clovis, MPs from the National Rally arriving. We heard Marine Le Pen there. And one of the party's messages today is that the campaign has resumed. What does that mean?
Well, indeed, it's a rather strange thing to say as you enter Parliament with your newly elected MPs. For many, it was the pinnacle of their career. And now they're told by their party boss, the boss of the far-right party, the National Rally, that they need to campaign. Why? Because basically Jordan Bardella and Marine Le Pen think there will be new elections, new snap elections very soon, in a year or so, because no bloc has an absolute majority in Parliament. That was the dream of the French far right, to get an absolute majority. Polls told them it was a possibility. Ultimately, they finished third, so it's clearly not the case. And Jordan Bardella and Marine Le Pen saying there will be snap elections in a year or so. And of course, they're also eyeing the presidential election of 2027. Let's take a listen to Jordan Bardella explaining a bit his position and basically telling his troops they need to be in fighting mode.
There's disappointment among the millions of French people who voted Patriot, 40% in the European elections, 37% who voted for us in the second round of the parliamentary polls, and who now see the far left at the gates of power. So, of course, millions of French people are disappointed. But we got 3 times the number of votes, and we're now the biggest political force in the National Assembly. So we're going to keep working, and it's the reason why, rather than the word defeat, I prefer the expression deferred victory.
So that's the view then from the National Rally today, Clovis. Meanwhile, tell us about efforts to try and form a government, because we still have no government and no idea of who might be the Prime Minister.
Well, we know that the National Rally, the French far right, will be excluded from any talks to form a coalition. They don't have any allies in Parliament, apart from 17 who left the Conservative Party, the mainstream Conservative, Les Républicains, and who joined the alliance with the National Rally. So all eyes are on the centrist bloc and the left-wing bloc. The centrist bloc, President Macron's bloc, trying to form some kind of alliance, going from the right wing, the conservative right, to the communists, and they want to exclude the France en bas, the radical left. That could be one option of, say, a coalition, or at least a bloc that would be able to pass laws in Parliament, have some kind of majority. The other possibility, of course, is having an alliance around the left wing, because it is the new Popular Front, the left that finished first in the legislative elections. When you talk to socialists, they tell you it does seem that a prime minister will be picked from the socialist ranks, not from France en bas, the radical left, because they are too controversial, they have too many enemies. But again, I was talking minutes ago to a member of Emmanuel Macron's side, the centrist bloc, and she's telling me, for the time being, negotiations between centrists and the left, very difficult, proving very complicated, and we could end up with the current government acting as interim government, and then, who knows, maybe a government made up of technocrats, this until next year, in a year with possible new snap elections.